it's Jen Vax with YourColorStyle.com, along with my co-host Gail Scott, who is the creative director over Style and Beauty over at Your Color Style. Say hi, Gail.
Hi, hi, hi.
Today we are going to be talking about the color red. I don't know, can you tell?
The topic of the hour. We are prepared.
You're ready. We're going to talk about the color red, how to wear it, who should wear it, the different nuances of red, and why. Why are we talking about red, Gail? What is it
The
Christmas
main
time?
reason
Why are
we're
we
talking
talking about
about
red?
right now is because here in fall of 2023, there is no hotter color than red. It has stormed the runways, and the coolest thing about it is it's the entire spectrum of red. Any color that is reddish, red based, sort of red, red adjacent is included when we mean red. Whereas in the past, sometimes we just meant candy apple, fire engine red. No, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the spectrum of red, which is good news because sometimes red gets a bad name.
Yeah, because it's bold. So let's just tell it how it is. Red in general, it is a power color. Not everyone's personality is comfortable in red, so we don't need to put on an entire red suit, although those are trending. Nor does it have to be necessarily very, very bright. It can be a softer version of red by just a little bit darker than the bright red. And I've seen already many versions of this. So let's just talk about the different types of red we're seeing, right?
Well, let's talk about why people get nervous too.
Okay,
Because some people, how many times have I been told over the years, been working with women's faces for 29 years, oh, I can't wear red.
right,
You've not found the right red and you've not found the right way to wear red.
right,
Everybody can wear red. I don't
right.
care if your hair is flaming orange, gray, jet black, brown, blonde. I don't care what your coloring is. There is a reddish color for you. And I think what we're seeing right now this fall with so many different kinds of reds is really going to empower women as they go forth to future holiday seasons to understand having their red. And for all of us, it's not candy apple red or fire engine red. It's a softer, more muted version. So when we think about color, especially in your color style, and we talk about chroma, that
Yeah.
is going to be a big part of this because what we can do is take those basic primary reds and add other colors to them to get a color that's perfect for you. So when we add a little bit of white, we may get a what I call a light red
Yeah.
or a deep coral color. We can add a little orange and make it more fiery. We can add some brown and some orange and get in those rust tones, those terracottas that are beautiful for you deep warm girls. We can add a little blue and take it more towards a magenta, like the color of the year, or a deep, deep pink, or even into the berries, which are hot, hot, hot right now.
Yeah. And you just listed that spectrum, and which is why Gail's saying that it's a color for everyone. And so you go from that blue, the most blue version of the red, which doesn't really look like red anymore, like she was saying, but you get those deeper magentas and plum pinks. And I've definitely seen those out in the stores, to true red. Like, I'm wearing true red. It might be hard to tell in the lights that I'm wearing, but it's the like, most balanced red you can wear, which means everyone can wear it. And then you start to go warmer, right? So you got those tomato reds, and then darker versions like start to get a little earthy. And all those are red, and we're seeing them in the stores. And here's the thing. Tell me if you think this is true, Gail. If you're kind of shy and you're thinking, I would never wear a red dress like what Jen's wearing. That's crazy town. That's just too much for me. But doesn't it make it easier if head to toe red is so on trend and you're seeing more and more people wearing that trend? Doesn't it at least make it a little bit easier to try wearing red as a top where you may never have before, just because everyone else is
Well,
doing it?
I think you've got to find a place to start with red. And for
Mm-hmm.
you, it could be solid red, or it could just be red in part of a pattern or as an accent. And my girls who are really bit of red afraid, I'm sure there's a term for that. I'm encouraging them to do add some earrings and a necklace in your best shades of red, whether it be a warmer red or a cooler red, or maybe how about a red pair of shoes so it's way
Yeah.
away from your face. It's going to be the boldest and brightest of us that choose that monochromatic look, but
Yep.
that's across the board. People who choose monochromatic looks are usually the people with the most bold personalities, even when the monochromatic look is a neutral. There's
Hmm.
something very just statement about monochromatic looks. But with these reds, where you place them on the body is going to be important. So if you don't like red around your face and you don't want to do heavy lifting with your makeup, worried about your lipstick matching and all those things, choose a shoe, a bag, a nice pair of wool red pants or something like that that's a little bit away from your face, and wear a color that you're more comfortable with around your face.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a cool girl, one of the things I'm loving seeing is a not color blocking, but like a color story where you're taking maybe a pink, a red, and a deep berry and wearing them all together
Oh yeah.
because they're all in that deep, cool tones. And that's not a combination we see a lot, but these deep reddish tones work beautifully for it.
It does. And the thing is that that color combination that you're referring to, we're already seeing in patterns in blouses and pants and dresses in the stores now. And it's something that at first I would never necessarily have thought to put that together in an outfit, but man, it is very, very striking. Honestly, I mean, you go into a store and you see patterns, whether they're floral, paisley, stripes, whatever, and you see those colors put together for you already. It kind of takes away some of the guesswork on like
Yeah.
what you could wear with that particular red because they've already done it for you. So you
Mhm.
can simply just pick one of the things you really like and offset the ratio for that color and wear it so that you're feeling a little bit more confident in it, you know?
Well, we used to only want to wear red with contrasting shades. That used to be the old guidance on how to wear red. You're going to wear it with black, or you're going to wear it with white, or, now we're seeing if you're wearing a warm red, you might wear that with some orange,
Yeah.
even throw in some yellow, and it becomes this beautiful, like rainbow of warm reddish tones, just like we talked about with the berries, the cranberries, the pinks. And
Yeah.
that's very vogue right now. That is very on trend and very, very stylish. Now, is it a trick to pull it off sometimes? It can be, but if you take out your color fan from your color style and you go and look in those family groups, you'll see quickly two or three colors that you can throw together out of your closet. It might be a deep purple with a magenta and then a red or a fuchsia top. It's a beautiful style that we're seeing a lot of. And guess what? It makes it easier to wear the colors in your wardrobe because you have more options what to put those with. Now, if you have a softer spirit and softer coloring, you're going to want to look for what I call more light reds. And
Yeah.
that can be influenced by not only the color, but the texture of the fabric. So if you choose something very sheer, that's just going to give a wash of red, then that's going to look very different than if you pick, say, red leather. That's
Right.
or red sequins, very, very bold. So pay
Hmm.
attention to the fabrics. Also, very nubby, fuzzy fabrics can tend to soften a color a little bit and how it lays on the skin.
So there's a blog post that as of recording this video was just posted out on your color style, and Gail shares four different color combinations to wear red for each general color type. So one for bright and cool, bright and warm, soft and cool, and soft and warm. And so everything that she's saying, if you're wishing you had visuals to go along with it, I'll put the link directly to that blog post from this video so you can go see what she's talking about. And you'll see how the reds she's chosen for the cool undertones are more on the berry side, still trending. And then there's more true reds, warmer reds for the warm undertones. And she has some ideas there too. So I want to say that before anybody's watching this, wishing that there was visuals,
Yeah, they're
it's
out there.
already done for you. It's just at the blog post. So if you're not watching this on the blog post, you're on YouTube, there's a link over to that. So you can take a look there also. So what else do we need to know about wearing red? So if I want to wear red, like I'm wearing right now, what would
Mhm.
you tell me?
I would say be prepared to balance it with your makeup
Yeah.
because if you're a girl that's not going to do anything to your hair, anything to your face, red can overwhelm you very quickly. Even if it's a great color for you, red needs a balance up onto the face. And so as opposed to your regular everyday makeup, you want to bump up that lip color a little bit and bump up those cheeks a little bit. I say keep the eyes neutral. They don't have to be light. Like if you look at mine, my eye makeup is not light, but it's neutral. And that's where the difference is, because it has to be this deep for my personal depth. I'm a bright, cool, deep, and any lighter, I look washed out. But I just choose non-colors, and when I say non-colors, I mean neutrals, like your
Right.
browns, your creams, and stuff on my eyes, so that the star of the show becomes the lips and cheeks. And you want to make sure and bump up that cheek color when you bump up the lip color, and just keep it in the same color family. If it's a warm red on your lips, do warm on your cheeks. If it's cool on your lips, do cool on your cheeks. Just give it a little more, because cheeks are really trending right now, and you're seeing people wear more cheek color than we have in probably the last 5 to 10 years. We got all hung out on contour and highlight and forgot to put any color on. So you had these girls walking around with their circling lips and glitter odyssey, and they had no color, but color on the cheeks is back. And it's good for us who have a little bit of age on us, because as we age, we lose some of our natural coloration, and that bright pop of cheek really brings it back. And if you really want it to really have a pop, bring it a little more forward on your face. That's what we're seeing. We went through those years of only right here. No, bring it around a little bit on that apple, especially if you're on video, and it will really give a pop, and it will balance that red that we're wearing on our body.
Yeah.
And now when you're wearing red, keep in mind what you put with it matters. Like Jen is, I have to slow down, bright, warm, light. And she's going to choose true red, or reds that have a little bit of warmth to them,
Yeah.
that are a little bit of the less deep end of the scale. And to keep it along with her bright, warm, light coloring, she could put that with cream or camel.
Right.
Those kind of colors will also serve to tone that a little bit. So if she put on a camel jacket with what she's got on today, that's a great way to tone down the look and still have that red peeping through up the middle here, but not go all the way out like someone like me, who red is right in my wheelhouse. So little pops of red underneath the jacket,
Yeah.
a belt, again, the shoes, and keeping it in your color family with what you put it with makes the big difference. Because we talked in another video about red and black.
Yeah.
Red and black or red and white, those are automatically high contrast and automatically cool. But our warm girls sometimes are like, well, I need to wear black because I'm on red. Get that out of your head. Black and white are not the only colors that go with the red. Camel and red for you
Oh, it's my
warm
favorite.
girls is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's not as thought of as black and white, or red and white or red and black.
Right.
It's going to seem a little special when you wear it, and you're going to look a little more trendy than the next girl.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, just because this is fall 2023, and so on trend right now that I think is going to stay for a while, is a very classic look where you have a blazer over just about anything, even a dress that seems kind of dressy. I'm seeing blazers worn over it for that
And you
look.
know what else? Vest.
Yes.
Kill me now. I'm so excited. And
yeah, I'm loving it.
vest,
I'm absolutely all in for this look. I just love it. And so like this dress, normally I would kind of put it away once the gets a little too cold, but I'm on the hunt now. I know you're going to help me with that, Gail, because that's what you do. But I'm on the hunt for that perfect blazer that I can make this outfit look super awesome with some cute ankle booties, and also wear it with jeans, or et cetera, et cetera. I digress. But the point is that Gil's right. Like, don't forget that you can wear warm neutrals with red, just like you could wear cool neutrals like with red. So like with those berries, you can wear gray, you can wear black, you can wear white.
I was just going to mention gray, because
What?
if you're a cool girl,
Yeah.
you still may be soft, and red and white or red and black is too much for you. That's when you're going to reach for either heather gray,
Yeah.
maybe towards charcoal. There's colors for you, or put it with one of these tweeds that we're seeing. Herringbone, tweed, those are trending like crazy.
And if you're soft and cool, some of those tweeds that I'm seeing really translate to a cool brown or a cool taupe even. Mm-hmm. And if you are soft and cool in that category, oh my goodness, that is so flattering. It is so sharp. And a lot of people go, oh, I don't wear beige, they might say. But I'm telling you, for someone that has softer tones with cool undertones, that cool taupe is just so pretty, so
Even what we
spot
use,
on.
the old term winter white, we used to call it that, just kind of off white, is
Yeah,
very beautiful with a lighter red, a softer
yeah,
red. If you want to dial it down just a little bit, red doesn't always have to be so in your face. Also, the accessories you choose, like, so I'm going to choose red glasses and red
yeah.
lipstick and all the things when I wear, want to make a red statement. But adding just some subtle gold jewelry, if you're warm, especially some that may have a softer finish to it, and it's not super shiny, will also bring that down a little bit. And we're in this true season of classic elegance. So that understated, just textured hoop, pearls, things like
Yeah.
that can also tamper it down a little bit versus what somebody, I may come out with feathers out my ears, who knows? But that's my personality. And I think whatever you believe in, God, the universe, whatever, it seems like we're given color types that match our personalities a bit.
So,
So, it just seems to work out. But really get in there and work with your it's. Now, let me come in and say this. All of you girls have enjoyed putting the colors of the rainbow in your hair. That's not going to work real great with red unless you put red in your hair. So if you put pink or blue or green, that may give you some trouble with wearing red because red can easily clash with other colors.
oh yeah.
But you can even wear red with the chocolate browns that we're seeing this season.
Hmm.
But when you put red with odd colors of hair or you don't match the makeup appropriately, that's going to be where you get in the biggest trouble with red.
Yeah, and I hear you because everyone knows that for a while there, I was playing around with pink hair. And one of the things that went wrong is when I did a different type of treatment, which made it extremely saturated and turned magenta pink. I have warm undertones. I had no business having this color hair, and I had to let it fade. There's nothing I could do about it. But what it did do, because I have all my clothes are for my palette for bright, warm, and light, nothing went. It was brutal for me. So just be careful if you want to
I
play around
know.
with the hair color. I always say you do you. Like if it's fun, knock yourself out. But just know that pink especially is going to absolutely conflict with red because here's the thing, a little color theory. Uh, your eye will always try to make a connection with two things next to each other, whether it is like, oh, yeah, they're the same color, or no, they're different colors, but I like the way they look together. But when they're kind of like the same, but not different enough and not similar enough, now your eye can't do it and it becomes uncomfortable and it becomes not pleasant to the eye. And that
We
is
get
why
it.
some of these
Nah,
things just don't
nah,
work. Yeah, it's just
no.
and this is why like we always talk about your color style being based on color theory. And the reason is because there is already science around color schemes and combinations where it's been proven that the human eye finds balance and pleasing combinations. So that's how it works with you. So you're wearing something that is a pleasing combination with your natural coloring tones. So if you do something that offsets it like that, I don't, again, not telling you not to, just know that you may love it, but it may not be the look
And the
ultimately
way to
that you're
get
trying to go
around that
for.
right now would be do that cool tone color mixing, where you do like red with a magenta with a
Mm,
deep berry, and
yeah.
you're bringing in a little pinkness to it. But the last thing I want to say too about red is the red lip is a beautiful lip. And of course, that's what we're seeing to go along with these red colors. And we're seeing a classic red now. We're also seeing French, the classic French come back in with the tailored classic clothing. But when you're doing a red lip, it's really important to prepare the lip. Make sure you're exfoliating, you're using a touch of lip balm to just prep and create a little pillow there, preserve your moisture, add a primer. Then for liner with reds, even though I'm a cool, I usually use a warm, deep red or almost a reddish brown liner with my red lipsticks because it gives it just a little shadow around the edge. And that's what I'm looking for, is that boundary and control with red so that I'm not having feathering, and it's really focused on that very clean lip, not floating all over my face. Because if you put on a red without liner, it's going to look like it's moving around. It's not going to have good boundaries. So if you're going to wear red lips, take the time to do it and do it right, and it will be a beautiful
Yeah,
statement. And
definitely. She
gosh,
Gail has a
it will be.
tutorial on that. It's in Style Masters. So if you're watching this, you're in Style Masters. There's a video on how to do that. I will link that to that tutorial. If you're not in Style Masters, well, why aren't you in Style Masters?
Yeah,
You should at
you
least
should
check it
be.
out.
We're
I
all
will
the
put a link to that also for all of you. So one last thing before we wrap up, Gail. So we talked about all the things that you could wear with red, and obviously with hair color aside, what would you personally never wear with red?
I would not get into the pale pinks or like lilacs, any of those very, very pale pastel colors. Red is too deep. It's not going to be balanced and weighted. So when we're talking about doing those multi-tonal looks, those are colors that have the same depth and weight, and they can stand up to the red. So I'm not going to go with pale creamy yellow. I'm not going to do lilac, pale blue, none of those. Red needs other saturated colors around it, or your neutral. So that's what I would not wear with red.
Yeah.
Also, don't think of just the classic ways to wear red like polka dot or plaid. Really look for unique ways to wear red, and look for textures. I think red can be so beautiful in like boucle and suede, and all these textures will impact the way the tone looks.
Yeah.
And like you might find a red suede shoe that the suede and the dye has made it almost a muted red, and it becomes this very beautiful color that's very wearable.
Yeah.
So the only thing I wouldn't do is those very light pastels for me.
Yeah. That makes total sense. I think I'll see if I can find and put into the description a link to a color combos. I'm sure there's a video I put out there at some point about different color combinations, or maybe I'll make one just for red, because you can get very creative using the color schemes, like complementary color schemes that will end up being like red and green, which people cringe at, but there's just kind of rules of thumb around doing that. So just like Gail's saying, she doesn't prefer the pastels with the red. At the same time, two saturated colors next to each other can also be a lot based on your coloring and your personality. You might be like, that's a lot. And so you might want to play around with the different tones, tints and shades of colors you wear with it.
Whatever you do, I want to
Yeah.
encourage you to move away from just red and black. That's
Yeah,
been done.
exactly.
And some of you think black's the only neutral that can be worn with red, and some of you warm girls have went down some very, very sad paths with that, especially with just you'll come out with a red turtleneck and black slacks and black shoes. That's a very sad look for most people.
Tends to
And
date you a little bit too, I think, when you see that, because that
that's
was
very old.
definitely perfectly great 20 some years ago. But there's so many other amazing
if you do
ways
that
you can
today,
wear it.
that says I just dialed it in. I gave up. I just did whatever. And so, and depending on your personality, like when you think about going with those neutrals, especially warmer girls, a lovely true red or warm red with, say, a camel pair of pants. And if you have a bolder personality, throw on the red shoe. If you have a softer personality, throw on a camel shoe and keep the line clean. So adding those accessories, you can take your top and a pair of camel pants. If we added red shoes, red belt, red bag, some big earrings, it's a very bold look. But we could take that same look with the same camel pants and do a leopard print or a camel brown belt, some brown booties or some camel pumps, and just some soft gold jewelry. Two totally different looks with the same garments.
Can you tell it that Gail's in her zone of genius when she talks about this? I mean, like her brain just like literally, she just keep going. If I don't stop her, I'll be like,
I do love red with leopard print. I'm just going to throw that out there.
all right, so let's wrap up then, because I think we've overloaded our viewers with lots of tips, which thank you for that.
We did that. Would we overload anyone?
No, what? We barely talked. What is that? But so at a very minimum level, if you don't even know your color type and you're not actually sure which red to wear, take the quiz. It's free, yourcolorstyle.com/quiz, and you will get to your color palette, which will then have your reds. You can also check out the outfit ideas that Gail styled already, and I'll put the link to the blog post for that. And if you're loving what Gail's saying about how she's pulling all these looks together, she has a wardrobe planning style package. So I will put the link in the description, but you can also find that at yourcolorstyle.com. And in the menu, if you just select style, you will see those
There I
options that
am.
you can explore. So all those things are available to you. So with that, Gail, thanks so much for all of your
I
expertise
just want
on
to say too,
red. I
Jen,
love
that
red.
this doesn't come natural for everyone. We get that.
Yeah.
And if you just like, I can't wrap my head around this, that's when you hire a Jen or a Gail to
Yeah.
do it for you because you don't want me taking out your appendix. We don't want some of you picking out your reds. So if you need help, help's available. We want to teach you all that we can. And even when we work with our clients, we do like you to understand the why behind things so that you can put outfits together yourself. But if
Totally.
this just feels so overwhelming, don't fear. We all have our special gifts and talents. And if this isn't yours, that's why we're here.
Yeah, totally. So thank you so much, Gail. And I'm Jen Vax. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.
Bye.